Hi students, welcome to Sri Chaitanya e-learning and welcome to our second year English classes. I am Srinivas, faculty of English. In our last session, we completed our first prose lesson, Dancing in the Rain. I hope each and everyone could understand the lesson completely. In this session, we are going to discuss the study skills. Before announcing the topic for study skills, here I would like to give you a short story. A short story about a man named Dick. Dick wants to get some papers from his storeroom. This story narrates how he enters the room and the condition of that room and what happened while he is going into the room. How he reached finally. This is completely narration in this story. Actually, I would write on the board. You, the students, could pause your video class and read it clearly, or you can write it into your notebook. Okay, students, this is the short story for you. You can pause your video class and go through line by line, focusing on new words. Okay, I'll go aside. You may have a full picture. Okay, right. Keeping an average student in mind, here I would like to underline the new words for you. Okay, right. By reading itself, right. As Dick squeezed through the doorway, the huge pile of newspapers that have been holding the door ajar, I feel it is a new word, ajar means slightly open, fell onto his feet. Ouch! Ouch is an expression from pain. He cried as his eyes adjusted to the darkness. He could see boxes stacked. Stacked means arranged, a pile of things on top one another, up to the ceiling, and books jostling. Jostling means pushing for space on the broken shelves. How would he ever find what he was looking for in this messy place? Yeah, messy means untidy or dirty, we can say. He carefully stepped over the discarded drink bottles and empty food cartons, taking care not to place his feet on any of the rubbish that was almost ankle deep. Again, I feel it is a difficult for you. Ankle fit means reaching as high as ankle in parts of the cramped room. Cramped again is a new word. Means hardly small pieces. The smell of rotting vegetables. Rotting means foul smell. Crept into his nostrils, and he looked for a window to open. There were none. The only light came from an old lamp hanging just above his head. Dick pushed his way into the narrow space between two bookshelves, banging. Banging means strike sharply his elbow on a sharp piece of wood as he tried to reach an overflowing box of papers. Right, like this. while we are reading some passages, short stories, or reading newspapers, or watching news, English news over the TV, we come across new words. Do you ever feel what it indicates? Yes? Yeah. It indicates that we need to improve our vocabulary. You may ask, what is the use of improving vocabulary? Right. If you improve your vocabulary, you can sharpen your thinking and you can use the language effectively. Then again you may ask, what is the ways to improve? And tell me the rules for improving vocabulary. No, there is no fast and hard rules for learning vocabulary, but here I suggest you some measures to improve your vocabulary. They are: 1, by using a good dictionary, and the second one, by learning root words, and the third one, by learning prefixes and suffixes, and the last important one, by learning one word substitutes. And again, I would like to tell you, this is a one word substitute is a topic for our second year syllabus. So here I write this on the board. If we get clarification of these, you can know the way to learn the vocabulary, right? Okay. We can improve our vocabulary by following these measures. They are using a good dictionary, learning root words, and learning the use and meaning of prefixes and suffixes. The fourth one, learning one word substitutes. Right? Okay, if we focus on those 4, you may get full clarification how to improve our vocabulary. If we begin with the first point, that is using a dictionary, using a good dictionary. Okay, whenever we come across new words, what do? Just simply we consult the dictionary, and in the dictionary just we focus on getting the meaning only, right? Yes. But do you think a good dictionary contains so many features in it? If we focus on those features, we can improve our language skills. Here I would like to give you most of the useful features for you, the students. Okay. Usually, the good dictionary contains to learn the vocabulary, to know how it is pronounced, how the word is pronounced, and to know where the stress fall on, and fourth one, to know the part of speech of the word, and fifth one, to know its synonyms and antonyms, and the last one, by constructing a sentence by using it. So, if it is not clear, just reading it, you may not get clear, right? Let us take a word and try to get the full clarification. Here I would like to give you full clarification by taking a word happy. If we take the word happy, happy. If we look for the meaning, what is the meaning of happy? Pleasure, right? Feeling of pleasure. Actually, it is a feeling of pleasure. Right. Then, if we go to the second point, to know how it is pronounced. In our first year, we learned phonetics, right? Why do we use those phonetics? The phonetic sounds gives us the pronunciation of a syllable. By getting syllables, we can simply get the pronunciation of the word. Okay. Happy contains 2 syllables. If it is if we get the transcription of happy, we'll get happy. The right. This is the transcription of happy. By reading this, we can get the correct pronunciation of a word. Right. Then, if we go for where the stress falls. In your syllabus, there is a topic word stress. For that also, you must buy a good dictionary and you must follow the dictionary. Okay, here happy, if we take happy, again on transcription itself we will get the stress mark. Okay, here we can find 2 syllables. They are happy. In this, the stress falls on the first syllable. A stress can be shown by a vertical bar on the top of the syllable before it. Right? Okay. Then let us move to know. To know the part of speech. Tell me, what part of speech is this for happy? Part of speech is adjective. Right. And let us know its synonyms and antonyms. If we want to know synonyms, tell me what are the synonyms for it? Synonyms means joyful, yes, elated. Next, glad and pleasure. So many synonyms are there for this word happy. For antonyms, here we can indicate this by writing yes. Okay. A for antonyms. Okay. Happy antonyms are unwilling, unhappy first. Unhappy, right? Then reluctantly, reluctant, and sad, disappointed. So many words are there. Okay. Then, if we look for happy, how to use it? Then we can say, I am happy. I am happy to see you again. So by all these, we can find in our dictionary. If you open the dictionary, they cannot be like this, but they are in one row. These three. See here, I will write for you how in the dictionary we can find. Yes, take this. Happy. After this, you can find the transcription. And there itself, stress mark. After this, you will find parts of speech like this in short form, adjective. After that, you will find its meaning. In that following, you may find usage. At the end of the word, you can find synonyms and antonyms. But some good dictionaries will give you synonyms and antonyms. But you can find these in all dictionaries. But especially some dictionaries provide the synonyms and antonyms. Okay. Have you get clarification how to improve our vocabulary by using dictionary regularly? Yes. See, let us move to next. Let us move to the second point, that is root word. Okay. Okay, students. If we observe these examples and discuss each and every example, you may get clarification. For that, I would like to take this first example. Actually, root words can be called base words or head words. These root words have some standard meaning, and whatever the word that developed for the contextual use relates to the meaning of the root word. Okay, let us see how it is. For example, if we take the first example, derma. Derma means skin. Whatever the word that contains derma relates to skin meaning. Okay. For example, if we take dermatology, dermatology means the study of skin and its diseases. And we can say dermatologist, and dermatologist means a doctor who treats skin diseases. Okay, and other word is there, dermatitis. A dermatitis means inflammation of skin. Inflammation means often we find our skin becomes red and swollen. That is called dermatitis. I think you got clarification by taking this example. The root word is derma, that means skin. And we discussed three words after that, which relates to the same meaning, right? Yes, exactly. If you go through all these four, and after that, you may go yourself finding new words. Let us discuss all these three, rest of the three. After that, you try to find new root words and their meanings. Okay, let us discuss next point, next example, that is anthropos. Anthropos means mankind or human. Whatever the word that contains anthro, that gives the related meaning, human or mankind. Let us take anthropology. Anthropology means the study of human beings. Right? Again, you can find here human beings. Logy means study of science. Anthro means human. Yes, exactly. Then next, let us move to philanthropist. Here, anthropist, anthro. Again, one who makes an active effort to promote human welfare. In our first lesson, we come across this word. Who is the philanthropist in the first lesson? Our author. Who is he? Yes, Ajit Premji. He spends his money, his valuable time, his reputation for the welfare of others or for the welfare of human beings. Right? That is a word. Okay. Try to get clarification by observing each and every example. Right. Let us move to the third example, that is chronos. Here, chrono means time. Chrono means time. Chronological. In this, the word chrono is there, and which relates to the time. Chronological means the order in which a series of events happen. Order means we take one set of time. In that time, one event occurred. After that, another occurred. After that, another occurred. It is a time-related process. In the time-related process, it is showing, because of that, it is a chronological. Next, let us move to chronometer. Here, chronometer, again, meter. Whenever we come across the word meter, I think it's a kind of instrument, right? Chrono means time. Yes, simply we can get the meaning of it. Chronometer, an instrument for measuring time accurately. Right? Okay. Then let us move to the fourth example, that is Beni. Here, Beni means kind, not harmful. Again, benign, gentle and kind. Benefactor. A benefactor means one who gives money or help to a person or cause. So, who give money to others for the welfare of others? Those who take care or take welfare of others. Right, that is called kind-hearted, generous person only. Right. Here come to beneficiary. Yeah, beneficiary, benefactor, the person who gives. That means giver. Beneficiary means receive. A person who receives. A person or group that receives benefits or profits or advantages, etc., is called beneficiary. Right? Like this, you can develop by observing root words. You can you can enhance your vocabulary by observing root words, by learning root words. Okay, after this, let us go to the next point, that is learning prefixes and suffixes. Okay students, the third way of learning vocabulary is that learning prefixes and suffixes. Okay, let us take first what is the definition for these two, prefix and suffix. Here, prefix means means prior, fix means join, right? Prior means before. If we add or join a group of letters before or prior of an adverb is called prefix. Okay, simply we can say adding a group of letters to adverb before it is called prefix. Opposite of prefix is called suffix. Adding a group of letters at the end of the word is called suffix. Okay, by taking some important prefixes, we can get clarification for this. First, you see the full of this board and observe the examples. I move aside, right? Take this first. If you want to, you can pause your video and write it down, right? Okay, let us discuss first. By taking prefix. Here the first example is that by. Here in this table we find three columns. One is prefix, there is meaning, third one is example, right? Here by means to or twice. Here example is that bilingual. A lingual means again language. By means two. So two languages. Bicycle. Bicycle means two. Cycle means ring. That means wheel. Two wheels. Having, I think cycle have two wheels, right? Because of that it named bicycle. Then come to second example, micro, small, microscope, an instrument that used to see small things. It enlarges, right? And again, microchip, or often you call micro SIM. In your smartphone, there is a micro SIM. Next, come to multi. Multi means many. Here, multiply or multiplex or multiply. Do you ever go to multiplex theater? If yes, in that multiplex theater, more than one screen or more than one theater together is called multiplex, or multi-story building, more than one floor, like that. Next, come to next, re. Re means again, restore, replace, rewind. Okay, remember, retrieve. Okay, redo, like that. Then come to semi. Semi means half, semi-final or semicircular, semi-crack, semicolon. So many words are there on this. Semi means half. Okay, then come to last one, un. Un means not or against, means opposite. Here, unhappy, unwanted, undo, etc. Okay, these are the prefixes. Let us move to suffixes. Here again, there are three columns. First column refers to the suffix, and second column meaning, last one example. Here, if we take ism, ism means system of being. And if we take example, idealism, capitalism, generalism, so many isms are there. Existentialism. Okay, right. Next, go to ish. Ish means like something. Like something means feeling some. Okay. Example is that childish, foolish. Okay. Then next one is less. Less means without. Okay. Here, fearless, careless, endless, fear. If you feel fear, you have fear. If you don't feel fear, then you can call I am fearless boy, right? Like that. Again, endless story. Story and endless story. It's going on years together, like on TV serials. Then come to logic. Logic means the study of, or we can say, science. Yeah, biology, zoology, psychology, so many logics are theology. Like next, come to ness. Ness means state or condition. Happiness, then kindness, greatness. Okay, like that. And the last example for suffix is that asi. Asi means again state or quality. Here, accuracy, privacy, democracy. Okay, by observing these two, how the prefixes and suffixes are changing the word. By adding prefixes and suffixes, what the meaning is, you got the information, right? The next one, let us move to the next one, that is important, and it has been prescribed for your syllabus. That is, what is that? One word learning, one word substitution. Okay, let us move to one word substitute. In this one word substitutes, we are going to discuss what are the one word substitutes, how can we learn vocabulary by learning these one word substitutes, what is the use for our language skills and other things, right? Okay, you can mastery of vocabulary by learning these one word substitutes. Okay, then you can ask me, what are one word substitutes, sir? The title word itself shows that one word substitute. That means a word that replaces a group of words is called one word substitutes. And what is the use of learning these one word substitutes? We can develop our language skills. We can use the language skills by using them. In the future, after completion of your qualifications, while you are searching for job or writing for entrance exams, in those entrance exams, this is the main topic where most of the candidates lose marks. If you start from your intermediate, you can easily get the career. Okay, let us start. Actually, it's like learning a list of one word substitutes helps you in your intermediate as well as in the future. Okay, let us take a list of 5 words. That is, first word is agenda. This is one word. It is replacing a group of words. Because of that, it is called one word substitute. Agenda means a list of things to be discussed at a meeting. The second one, agnostic. Here agnostic means, again this word is replaced by a group of words, that is a person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in the existence of God is called agnostic. Next, altruism, unselfish interest in the welfare of others is called altruism. Then amateur. Amateur means one who engages in an activity as a pastime rather than as a profession. Means a person who passes time just for the sake of time itself, leisure. Okay, next, ambidextrous. Ambidextrous is a word that replaces a group of words again. Able to use both hands equally well. Do you remember in the movie Arya, the hero uses both hands to write? That is called ambidextrous. Right. Okay. For the continuation of the list, you must turn the pages from this material. The page number 122, 127. There it has there in this you can find a list of one-word substitutes. You can go through it. By all these lists have been given in a what we call alphabetical order. Take each and every letter. Try to learn each and every day, taking a list of alphabets. Okay. Okay. This is our today's class. Before going to end this session, I would ask you. You must have this material. Having completed our first lesson, I ask you to learn annotations from the page number 7 and 8. That is Dancing in the Rain. Okay. Have a nice day. Have a nice learning. Bye.